So if you guys are just joining us, I'm speaking with Trevor Crane. He's a 6-time #1 best-selling author, the founder of Bestseller Big Business. He's also a publisher and speaker who's dedicated to helping his clients take their life and their business to the next level. Now, he works with speakers, coaches, and consultants who have the challenge of getting booked to speak, getting consistent leads, and getting high-paying clients. Trevor helps them by putting together a book and a business that's behind the book and gives them everything that they want while redesigning their business so that they have the time, the money, and the freedom that they deserve without doing all the stuff that really sucks. So if you have any specific questions for Trevor or about the show in general, just leave them in the Facebook chat and we'll get to them during the show. So Trevor, let's move on to some happier times, like your current business. Becoming a 6-time #1 best-selling author. Can you share with us your journey of getting into what you're doing now?
John, why is it my stories always start with pain? Jeez, okay. For over 20 years, I struggled to get my first book done for a variety of reasons. And so I made it a priority finally, okay, so that's a lot of time. I don't have time right now to tell you about 20 years, but finally it became a priority. And I wanted to solve the problem about how to get a book done quickly, how to go ahead and leverage it into your business. And I knew I needed to dial in all those things. So it was a few years ago that I finally decided to figure this out. I made it a passion. And I knew that books were the most powerful part of a marketing plan if you understood how to use them. So I just made it my obsession. I actually got into a fight with an argument with my wife about it because at one stage I said, that's it. I'm going to figure out how to do best-selling books, and I'm going to have one. You're going to have one. Our daughter's going to have one. Every one of my clients is going to have one. It is the most powerful part of your marketing plan, and we're not just going to be best-selling authors. We're going to be #1 best-selling international authors. Yep. And we got an argument, and she said, I'm thinking anyway. It wasn't the right time to bring that subject up. But I'm proud to say that my daughter, and I'd rather brag about her because she's got some cool new stuff.
Yeah.
These are 2 of my daughter's books. The 3 Ninja Kitties is my daughter's first book, and she did all the drawings herself. And her second book is Kitty Wars. And I helped my daughter build a business behind this book. So my daughter wrote her first book, this one, when she was 7. Wow. And remember I told you that my mission when I got I'm like, that's it, I'm doing it, you're doing it, my daughter's doing it. I wanted to come up with something she loved. Now, we had a lot of motivational, inspirational stories we could potentially have written, but my daughter told me about the 3 Ninja Kitties. And I was skeptical, John. I'm like, but I've never heard about the 3 Ninja Kitties. What are you talking about? Well, she said she wanted to, that's what her book was going to be about. So I took out my phone and put it in her hand. And she told me the story of the 3 Ninja Kitties. She actually got upside down and talked to my phone and told me most of the story on that couch, upside down, telling this really rambling story.
Yeah.
We transcribed that story, had it turned into the book, and she did all the drawings for that book. And then I had to get pretty creative, John, because how the hell am I going to turn the 3 Ninja Kitties story into a business? Because like you said, and you've been giving a great introduction for who I work with. I work with a lot of speakers and coaches and consultants, and I believe there's a business behind every book if you understand it. Yeah. So I had to get pretty creative. So the thing I'm most proud of right now is, in fact, my daughter's movie is coming out on Saturday, nice. Kitty Wars. And the business behind this is my daughter and I are now teaching. I keep looking for props. My daughter and I are now teaching a program for kids. It's called Super Kids Books. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a website and a coaching program where we teach people to become kids book authors, and that's part of the business behind my daughter's books.
Very cool.
And this year she has 6 more books coming out before the end of the year, maybe 5. No, 5 more books coming out before the end of the year. 2 come out tomorrow. No, what's Friday. The day? 2 days. Wednesday. Friday. 2 come out on Friday. And all of them are used as lead magnets or bait to just get attention and teach kids how powerful it is that they can become authors. And so I believe there's a business behind every book if you understand it, and I made it my mission and purpose to figure it out and how to turn those books into your most powerful marketing tool. And that's what I'm excited about now. And John, on the back of this is really, I'm really tricking people into to growing their business. I think for people to have an ideal quality of life, I think that they need to figure out how to have an ideal business, like the business that they want to run and have. I think it's ideal business, ideal life. So I'm being tricky. I want to help someone with what most people don't have, is they don't have a best-selling book. I want to help them build a business behind something that they love and they're passionate about, so they can have more freedom. Like you're doing on this great introduction, you're saying Trevor helps people have all this success without doing stuff that sucks. Yes, that's what I want to help them do. So I'm trying to be tricky. Let me help you get your book done, or your daughter's book done, or your son's book done, or whatever. And then I'll figure out how to share with you all the strategies that helped me be successful in the different businesses I've had. Am I answering your question? I feel like I just take over and I start going crazy.
That's all right. If you go off too much on a tangent, I'll stop you. But it's very entertaining and very educational. Now, since you were talking about your daughter, I noticed that there's so you have 2 books coming out in Friday, and the Kitty Wars launch, movie launch on Saturday, the Red Carpet Affair, and so you shared with us sort of your reason for her becoming a #1 bestseller. Is like everyone's going to be a #1 bestseller. That's everyone in your family is going to be a #1 bestseller. So that sort of seemed like the reason behind it. But what was her did she really have a reason? Was it something that you just wanted for her? Did she want it for herself? So how did sort of this Kitty Wars is just something that she made up? Tell us a little bit about sort of how her project all got started. Was it you sort of pushing her down that path, or did she want to take that path on her own?
So what I think it's like a spark that turns into a fire. So as a parent, what I've done with my daughter is that if I see a spark, my job is to feed the fire. Now, I've definitely been the one that's led my daughter's campaign on books. But what I did was I found something that was intriguing to her. So we could have done it earlier with my daughter, but there wasn't anything that she was excited about or intrigued about. And as much as there are times when I said, we have to finish this movie, we have to finish this book, I have to be the disciplinarian to say, let's finish, because my daughter would rather go play Minecraft or go outside or do anything other than, be focused. Yeah,
finish the project.
So, but in this case, like I gave you the example, I said when I was asking her about what book she'd like to write, she told me about the 3 Ninja Kitties.
So is that something that she just came up with? Is that I'm
off the cuff of her top of her head? She lives with her mom during the week, so I have split custody with my daughter, and she has 3 kitties. Actually, she only has 2 left. One of them got hit by a car, so that's pretty sad. But she said she just had this idea in her head that it was going to be, she wanted to do a story about the 3 Ninja Kitties, and they're based on her kitties. And so her new book actually is dedicated to her pussycat that passed away, that died recently. And she's going to be introducing her new 4th kitty in one of her upcoming books, because they got a new kitten to replace the one who died. But what I did in all things with my daughter is I try to feed the fire. Now, my wife's first book actually was going to be on a subject called money parenting. And my wife is a financial planner, and she really loves working with the parents of young kids. And she thought, I'm going to help people with money parenting. So she started interviewing people around this subject, and we teach some of those principles to my daughter. Now, the book my wife ended up writing is much different than that first project. Like oftentimes when you start researching, it led her into a different target market, which is something I teach and share with my clients, because just because you start off here doesn't mean that's where you're going to end up. She did research to figure it out. But the idea of money parenting is that we've given one of the strategies we use is how we give my daughter allowance, and we've also given her the opportunity to do businesses. So all of her money goes into money jars. We learned this from T. Harv Eker and The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And so my daughter has money, and it goes into these jars, and that's how she spends it. But when she had these different ideas, she said, Daddy, I want to start a cookie business. And I'm like, all right. So that was the spark. And then I fan it, right? So I feed the flame. I'm like, what do you want to call it? and my daughter's name is Phoenix. Phoenix's Cookies with Love. I'm like, excellent. So I made her a business card. And we went ahead and went into the kitchen. I'm in my big living room area here. The kitchen's right in this direction. And we made cookies. We pulled out cookie dough. We made cookies. I've got a big cookie jar that has this funny elephant that's on the top of it over here. We put those cookies in a jar. We took them around the neighborhood. And John, you asked me about my first business I had when I was 5. My daughter was about the same age.
Yeah.
I walked her around to my neighbors' houses, and she was 4, I think, and she sold cookies to all the next door neighbors.
Nice.
And it was Phoenix's Cookies with Love. So when and she created profit that first day. So every time I've seen a spark of something I think is powerful, I try to feed it and then give her the credit for everything. You know, it's really not about me as much as I would love to take the credit. And I put myself on the picture of me on the back of the book because I'm like, look at us. Woohoo! You know, it's me and my daughter. But really, I'm trying to do everything I can to let her succeed on her own and have it be hers. John, when she sat in this kitchen and she read her first book, she cried. She couldn't believe how good it came out.
Yeah.
And then she stopped in the middle of it and said how proud of herself that she was. And she laughed so hard at her own jokes when she was reading her own story in the book, she couldn't breathe. So for me, that's everything. And I have to say that I've seen that child inside come alive in all of my clients that I've helped with books. Excellent. Is that they see their vision come true. And it doesn't mean that we don't look at it and say, oh, I wish it could be better. I needed to know a better cover. You know, come on, you work with enough people around this subject that we all wish we'd make, should be a little better there.
Production over perfection.
We're so proud. It's just, we can be so proud of it. Look at Grant Cardone. I mean, he's sitting on a freaking jet on his new book. I mean, it is one of the best positioning tools you can possibly have. I think it's a beautiful gift to give to people to live their legacy, not leave one, live one. Live your legacy. Get your freaking book done. If you don't know how, come to me, come to John, go to Jesus, figure out how to get your story out and done, because you can leverage that into something powerful.
Exactly. So we just got a minute or two. Tell me about the movie premiere. Sort of what's the premise of the movie? It sounds like it's sort of a Star Wars theme for the Ninja Kiddies. So are you like every position behind the scenes? You're the writer, the director, the cameraman, the editor, and you just get your daughter's friends to be the actresses?
So my daughter wrote the story because she loves Star Wars, John, because I wanted to do what she loved. She's like, I want the kiddies to go to Star Wars. I'm like, okay, we'll call it Kitty Wars. So I fed the flame, and after she wrote the story, she then did the first drawing for the book, which she was going to do, and she said, Daddy, I don't want to draw these pictures. She's being lazy. She's like, I want to do a movie. Can't we just do a movie? That'd be so much easier. So I was like, sure. So I'm thinking to myself, I'll chase her around the woods with my camera, with my iPhone, and we'll do a little movie. Next thing I know, I invite her whole class out she's in the 3rd grade. I invite her whole 3rd grade class out. I'm chasing them around. We have a movie script. I hire a professional film crew. We have 7 people there. We have this full-on 4-day movie shoot for this thing. I dress up as Dog Vader, Jabba the Mutt. You know, I wear all these different costumes. Cool. And the premise of the story is these 3 ninja kitties are transported magically through the golden acorn. She wanted it to be a waterfall, but we couldn't figure out how to do that into the movie. A golden acorn, and they meet Luke Sky Kitty, Han Soul Cat. That was actually my character in the movie. The 3 ninja kitties have to save Princess Leopard, Han Soul Cat, and Luke Sky Kitty from Dog Vader, Jabba the Mutt, and an army of Imperial dog poopers. And when the kids are killing people with their lightsabers because they're ninja kitties, all the adults play the big evil parts pretty much. So the adults come play Dog Vader and everything. We sit down and eat popcorn while the kids actually do all the fighting with lightsabers. And then when the dogs die, they poop themselves because they're dog poopers. And then at the end, my daughter was actually interviewed in New York City in Times Square for International Peace Day because her movie and her book is all about love. And so the Force, I'm giving away so much of the movie, the Force is the power of love. And so in the middle of the movie, a music video breaks out and they start dancing. And at the end of the movie, when everybody comes back to life, and they have the greatest party in the universe because they bring everybody together. The Doggalactic Empire and the Cat-Addict Republic are united. And I was the director of this, and it was more work, John, than I would have imagined in a million years.
Oh, I bet.
I do not recommend this. However, it was the coolest thing, and the pinnacle is that we have a red carpet event on Saturday here in North Jersey, actually in New York, and we have a theater that's going to host the film. All the kids are going to dress up. We're going to take pictures. The media is coming.
Nice.
We're making a big deal of it. And I get the Super Dad of the Year award is what I'm going for.
Excellent. We'll see. I'm sure we'll see lots of posts on Facebook. So, Trevor, that's all the time that we have for today. So what I'm going to ask you to do is in the comments field, if you could just leave all your contact information for us, and specifically for those who want to follow up on your daughter's book and as well the video that's coming out, and just hear all about sort of the tales of what happens this weekend, because I'm actually pretty intrigued. I live across the country, but I still want to find out what happens at the premiere event. Sounds like a great time. But everyone show Trevor some love by hitting the thumbs up, the love icon, and definitely share this to your friends in your Facebook feed. And Trevor, I want to thank you personally for being on the show today, sharing with us your journey. We never really get into too much about talking about your clients, but that's okay. I really enjoyed the conversation about how you're helping your daughter, and that's just fabulous. Basically, you can take the exact same thing with what Trevor's doing with helping his daughter, and you can work that into any entrepreneur, business owner, author, expert, speaker, basically helping them build a book, build a business around the book, and live a better lifestyle, live a lifestyle that they actually want to live, something that they're happy about, something that they're passionate about. So Trevor, I want to thank you very much for being on the show. It was such a pleasure, and I look forward to catching up with you real soon.
Thank you, my friend. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I'm going to leave a link below. I have a gift to give away, or well, you said I'll put it in there. Yep. My program is called bestsellerBigBusiness.com, and if you go to /4 ways, bestsellerBigBusiness.com /4 ways, what I was going to share, John, are some of those strategies of my clients that they've used as case studies. I share that through that document, so they can go get that. I'm going to do a Facebook Live on that today as well, but they can get that there, and I'll put it in the comments for you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Trevor. On behalf of all the guests, thank you. And so everyone, just stick with me. I'll be right back in a few seconds for closing remarks. Trevor, have yourself a great day, and I'll chat with you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks for joining me on today's John A. McCabe Show, where we work with entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers, get seen, get heard, get noticed, anywhere, anytime, on any device, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, if you're someone who is looking to take their business to the next level and would like to get some coaching advice, why not apply to be a guest on the show? For most entrepreneurs, we want to create our own life, create our own path, and do what we can to reach our desired outcome, which is generally freedom. Freedom to choose what we want to do, when we want to do it, and with whom we want to do it. A life that is full of options and choices, where we worry less about money and more about the quality of time that we spend with others. A great way to make that happen is to leverage other people's knowledge, time, and skills. Now, step one to reaching your freedom is to realize that you can't do it alone. Working with coaches or being involved in masterminds is a great way for entrepreneurs to move their business forward. A coach can help you shorten the time frame to get from where you are today to where you want to be, while being part of a mastermind is meant to bring entrepreneurs together, all with the goal of helping each other move their business forward. Now, the second step to create the life you envision for yourself as an entrepreneur is to implement systems into your business so you can streamline your operations, leverage systems, and free up your time to focus on your family, having fun, and the highest leverage activities in your business. You know, the activities that get you the biggest return of your time invested, the ones that really make you money. So sometimes we just don't know what systems that we actually need, or how to implement those systems, or even have the time to find out what is needed. Now, working with a coach or consultant that understands, uses, and specializes in systems that can streamline your operations can help you save time, aggravation, and make you more money. For example, having a system or strategy that allows you to leverage just 15 hours of your time into enough repurposed content to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed, anywhere, anytime, on any device is a great example of leverage. Now just imagine where you just invest 15 hours of your time, and the end result is you're a #1 best-selling author, you have a successful podcast, and you have enough content to get you seen, heard, and noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device, automatically attracting more attention, giving more value, generating more leads, which enables you to attract an abundance of paying customers. Now, this is also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. To find out more about the Authority Acceleration Blueprint, coaching program, or mastermind, then contact me via my website, johnamccabe.com, or connect with me through the show's Facebook page. Now, again, I want to thank you for joining me on the John A. McCabe Show, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show when we have another great guest on discussing their business and accelerating their authority. So have yourself an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you real soon.